do. Okay, viewers, subscribers, and lurkers, I've just pulled out, with that little conception there, trappy device, I've just pulled out a lobster, as you can see, out of the water. So, pretty cool. He's awesome. I'll turn him over a bit so you can see him. I'll swip him over. He's, I'd say he's only just died, so that's how I've managed to able to get him. So as you can see, that's his backside. Flip him back over, and that's it there. And of course, I was just joined by these wonderful group of ladies just here who are watching it. And this little fella here, Spider-Man Ultra. Oh, that's all right. So, you come over to Kangaroo Island, eh?
Yes.
Awesome.
Did you find that by yourself?
So, did you see that little lobster?
Did you?
You did, didn't you? Was it a big lobster? But you don't want to touch him, do you? Nah. He goes, no, I don't want to touch him. So yeah, that's it there, obviously. I'm going to upload this a little later tonight, so you girls get to see it as well. And you're gonna be, so what's your name?
Aurelia.
Aurelia, and what's the little one's name?
Ryan.
Ryan!
Ryan from
Super
where?
Ultra Spider-Man Ryan!
Ryan.
And what's your names, ladies?
Sally.
Sally and... Cool. So we just got a lobster. These ladies just told me exactly where it was, so I went down. It was actually at the end of the pier. You can see where the pelican guy does all his feeding on that side, but it's on this side here, and that's where I pulled out, just near the rocky area there. So I'll probably use him for bait. It's pretty cool. So we'll upload it and go from there. Alright guys, have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notifications bell, and we'll see you on the very next upload. Bye! Woo! Okay, I've just come down to this little spot here. Off the little jetty here, and I decided, because I took a little bit of a drive and decided to come down here to do a bit of fishing. So I've got the lobster that I actually had. I actually pretty much divided it in half with a knife. It was a little bit smelly, but not really bad. And I took the meat from part of just before the head, took that bit of meat out, and also from the tail, and decided to come down here and try lobster for bait. So I'm going to do a little bit of fishing. As you can see, this little area here, let me just put my gear down. As you can see, this area here, just off the jetty, it's not too bad, and we're going to see how we go and see if there's any fish in this little bit of stuff here. So I'll give it a go. If there is, I will then record what I've caught, and I'll show you what I've caught and go from there. Okay. Just very quickly, this is actually the lobster bait that I have taken out of the shell from the tail. So that's it there. I'll pull my knife out and I'll flip it over so you can see as well. Yeah, so this is it here, and that's what I pulled out from the actual shell. So as you can see, it's got a little bit of length there. It's quite good. I'll just turn it over. So as you can see, that's the back part that was pulled out from the actual tail. So yeah, I'm trying to dry it off at the moment, so it doesn't stink as much, because you know, when you got the fluid and stuff in there, it's just terrible. So fluid, leaving it in a plastic bag is what actually makes it go off. So I'm going to let a bit of air and a bit of sun get to it, and that way it'll hopefully cure itself and not be as smelly. So I might even try to boil it a little later just to firm up the meat as well. So as long as I stop these damn pelicans, like this fella here thinks he's going to come over and get a feed, which he's not. He could just go away. Now he's swimming, so yeah. He's off, he goes, oh, I'm not hanging around you. So yeah, so I have to keep an eye on that bit of meat down there. But as you can see, just on the hook there, I've put a bit of it on there on the hook, and I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to cut it up little bit by little bit, and hopefully I can catch something with it. So, but like I said, if I do catch anything, I'll definitely update. Okay, let's do it. Till the next time, I'm going to turn off now, and then if I come back on, I can show you what I've caught, if anything. Okay, we're back. Just very quickly, because I did catch some fish, so I might want to move back a little. So I'm going to get these out now and just show you exactly what I caught. And you're in for a bit of a treat, because I'm actually going to do a bit of filleting as well and show you exactly sort of a little bit of a few techniques about the fish that I've caught and how I actually go about. And also, I met some fishermen that came in on the boat, and they gave me a little bit of extra bait as well. So I'll show you that. Just move back a bit. Here we go. Just keep it onto there. Okay, so what I caught was these fish here. All right, but I will show you that in a second. But what I want to show you is that I got some prawns as well. Okay, and as you know before, as I was as I was talking, and I'll shift this a little bit over here, and I'll put this in just down to here because I can just wash these off anyway. I caught a couple of different bits of bait fish and stuff too, so nothing major there. But I have got some prawns, right? And here's some squid that was given to me. Okay, so that was some squid, and of course, as you know before, that's the actual lobster. So yeah, and a little bit more squid there. So all in all, we did pretty good on the bait. I did use a little bit of lobster, obviously, so that came in handy. I'm just gonna rinse out this bag because I think, you know, trying to keep things clean as possible without things going off. So that's what I'm going to do. You might want to step back a little just to get it all in. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do now is just chuck these back in because they're obviously going to be for bait for later. I have decided that I'm gonna put it in the freezer, but that lobster bit I did have out most of the day today in the sun in order to dry it out and, yeah, you know, try to make sure that it's dry. Now, because, you know, if something's wet, especially if you put it in a bag, you know, it gets a bit smelly, like I said before. Now, the fish that I caught, I'll just give you a rundown, and I'm going to show you something special here because, so I'm just going to open this, tip them out. Now, these are a couple of different, this is probably my best one out of the lot here. As you see, it's not a bad size, it'd be pretty good frying. These are what are known as zebrafish. Now, there's no legal limit to these things, you know, as in size and whatever else, so that's all good. That's pretty much my catch for today, but the main thing I want to show, the difference is this. There is a way of preparing these here compared to these ones here, which are the zebrafish. Now, a lot of people go, oh, yuck on the outside, but what you actually got to do is treat the zebrafish as if you would a leather jacket. Now, a lot of people probably going, oh, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that it's better to pull the actual skin off because with leather jackets, you pull the skin back and you pull it off and stuff. So with these, I've found over all this period of time of catching these things, and look at that, look. If you don't like a little bit of gross out fish stuff, now's the time to turn. But a lot of you probably go, now I can handle it, it's all good, you know. So, okay.
And I do apologise for the people who are watching this if I am shaky or whatever. I am actually feeling a bit sick.
Yeah, unfortunately, the person who's doing the recording right now does not even eat seafood. In fact, she doesn't like it at all. She doesn't like the smell of it. So, but hey, look, it is what it is, you know.
I'm trying my best to keep the camera still for you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to put this into the bait, all right, because I'm going to use that as burley later. Now, as I said before, the way to do this is quite simple. Now, you see all this in here in the middle of the belly, the gut, as they say. I'm actually pretty pedantic about how I clean stuff. Because when I clean it, I don't want any of this stuff in here. I just don't like it, you know? So, at the end of the day, I want it to be clean. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there and girls go, yeah, you know, I love my fish cleaned nicely too. So, what I do is I just make sure that all that stuff is there, comes out. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to eat something, whether you might roast it or, you know, fry it up or however you decide at home to, you know, actually cook your fish. But the best thing about this, and it'll be good for people on that are, you know, I mean, zebrafish are pretty much everywhere. So this will be really good to give a good example of what to do. Now, I've pretty much cleaned all that out. You'll see the difference straight away. Like, that's a lot cleaner, you know. And I am a bit pedantic. I mean, some people will decide, oh, well, you know, I could eat it with all the red in there, but I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm actually very pedantic about what I do and how I eat stuff. So, yeah. Now, as you can see, that's pretty cleaned out. It's pretty good, you know. There's not much there that you can go wrong with. Now, as I was saying before, this fish is different. I'm just going to pull these little bits of scale off because I don't like them much on there either. So I'm going to pull, not the scale, I mean I'll pull the fin parts off. Alright, so hope you're getting this. Pull the fin part off. So we're pulling that off now, which is it's not that hard to do, but it's okay. So this can go in the burley and the bait. It's all good. Now, as you can see, with these sort of ones here, there is a technique to this, and I'm going to show you right now what that technique is. The technique to pulling this stuff off is quite simple. There's a little bit of skin that you'll find that usually comes out a bit. So if you can grab it, like this here, there's a little bit of skin here, and pull it away from the meat. You had a question? She's just looking at it. So yeah.
I can't see very well.
Okay, you can't come. I'll move over a bit more into the light.
Because I'm in a. Sorry guys, I just have to like squish around people here so I can.
Okay.
Get.
Yep. Is that better? Okay.
Because
So
his hands are in the way, so I'm just trying to make it easier for you
so
guys to see.
we're just going to find a little bit of where the skin comes off, like that, for instance. Right. As you can see, the skin's back a bit, and what we're going to do with this, and you'll see the big difference in comparison to what's right down there now compared to this. So I'm just going to pull the skin back, and you've got to be fairly careful doing this as well. You can be a little, she's coughing up. You can be a little rough, but you just got to be careful that you don't pull the skin with it. I mean, with the actual flesh with it. So, but the skin's all good. You can pull the skin back. See, as you can see now, I'm actually pulling it back. So I'm just going to pull a little bit harder just to get in. All right, here we go. And you've got to try to make sure the meat doesn't go with the skin. So you obviously have to use two hands to do this, which is why right now I've got it recording from somebody else helping me. So yeah, but once you do that, you'll see that underneath this actual skin, once I pull it back properly, here we go. It's now getting it. Here we go. So that's good. Just try to keep the skin, the meat off the actual thing, and we'll pull it back a bit more. Sometimes the meat does love to grab, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. Here we go. So now, as you can see, by pulling it back, right, you're actually exposing the best part of the meat. See that? Compared to that. And that way, if you want to put it on a barbecue or whatever else, you can. So I'm going to pull the other side off now. And then I'm going to give it a bit of a rinse off so you can totally see the massive difference, if you haven't already guessed it, the difference between this and what is, you know, laying down at the moment that hasn't even been, you know, gutted or even washed out yet. So the only difficult part, as I said before, is just the skinning of this. Yeah, you'll see the difference very, very quickly compared to that and this. It is a little bit of a hassle to pull the skin off, but you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if I'm going to eat food, I want it to be the best it can be when I eat it. So I'm just going to pull it back. It's a little difficult, but I'm getting it. And like I said, you've got to try to keep that meat stuff off it as well, because here we go. Pull back again, and pull back again, and pull back again, and pull back again. Here we go. So now I'm trying to be as careful as I can not to grab the meat as I'm pulling it back. There we go. And it does go to the tail. So I'm going to give this a bit of a rinse now. All right. Hang on a minute. That can go into the actual bait bag. Okay, so give this a bit of a wash. Now you'll see the reason why I got.
Sorry about my finger, people. I slipped.
That's all good. They won't condemn you. Now you'll see as I'm rinsing it off, it's actually very similar. I don't know in cooking standards, but very similar. Put that over there. It's very similar to leather jacket in the way that it looks. See what I mean? It's got that real nice texture about it, and that's from that compared to that. I mean, what would you rather? Would you rather this or would you rather that when you go to cook up a fish? This is why I do it this way, because at the end of the day, you know, you want the best quality. And of course, with fish like these ones up here, you're not going to pull the skin off. You're just going to scale them and cook them up normally, right? Because, I mean, they're just pretty much straight out cooking, you know what I mean? But these ones here in particular, I found this technique to be the best. And it looks a lot more presentable too, if you go to fry it up or whatever else you go to do. You know, it looks quite like a nice meat. But a lot of people are put off with zebrafish because of what they look like, which is that there. But now that you see...
Sorry, mosquito.
A few mosquitoes around. Now that you see what is... Oh, there is too. Look, he's right on my hand there. Is that a... No, it's not. I don't know what that is. Now you can see the total difference, and the quality is worth something. And of course, it does take a little bit of time to skin it and whatnot. So I hope you guys appreciated everything that I've done. with that to show you. I'll just quickly do this one here and show you that, yeah, you can see the meat. It's just so much, hang on a minute, I'll turn it over in a second. I'll just give my hand a bit of a wash. You can see how the meat is just so much better. Like, look at that. You can see it. Compared to this one up here, which is still, like, I don't, even if I gutted it and cleaned it and just left that on here, I wouldn't feel that this here is as good as the other, because it just doesn't look at all to me. But this here looks like, I don't know, it looks like a bit like chicken, to be honest.
If you want an honest opinion, I do not like fish, but I still think this one here looks a bit better.
It does.
Than that one.
It's cleaner and it looks like chicken.
And that's coming from a person who hates fish.
Yeah, well, there you go, you know. But I'm just going to quickly show you this one here. And these ones here are pretty easy to gut and whatever else. This one here is a harder one, obviously, to do. But this one here, all you do is just cut along here. Of course, pretty simple. Oh, you have to get over that. I try to make it as nice as I can for her, but hey, look, at the end of the day, here we're going to cut down here. Right, there we go, there's the head. Move that away. And of course, we open up this, and of course,
and
this
the funny thing is, I'm not squeamish. Unless it comes to fish, then I start gagging.
Yeah, she does. It's not a good thing. Okay, so I'll put that in the bullet bag. It's just, all that was is a little bit of intestine. Don't worry about that. It's fine. A little bit of intestine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Now, you'll see.
That's not the problem. The problem is the stench.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's definitely. I'm just going to rinse this out. Right? See, these ones here, I make sure that I even get into, you see the redness that's actually in there as well? I actually make sure that I get into that, because I just don't, you know, for some reason, I don't know if it's been like since I've been a kid and grown up this way, but I just don't like any blood like this that's inside a fish. You know what I mean? I have to make sure that it's pretty much out. So that's what I do.
I know you guys are laughing at me and thinking this is hilarious. There's a girl who's squeamish over fish.
There you go. See, that's out now. That's what I prefer. I don't want to see blood in there. I'm against it all the way. Now, as I said before, I take these little things off here. These little, what do you call them? Fins or whatever the heck. What do you call these things that they swim with?
You said it, fins.
Fins. That's it. Yeah. So I take that off. I make sure it's all off. I just don't think when you prepare a meal you want to have that with it.
Okay,
so,
everybody in the comments, everybody who's watching this, you can comment all you like to your heart's content about how gross or how funny it is that I think this is gross and terrible.
She does. She will not eat. She will not eat fish. Now,
I don't even like the fact that you're splashing me with
the water. You see, this here is to me is a more of a from the outset.
So comment tell your heart's content about how funny this is about me.
It's all about
you.
It's all about you. Okay, no. So basically, these type of ones, right?
Now back to the fish.
You see how I went down that way? It wasn't easy. I did that purposely. I'm going to show you something. If you actually go this way, as if you're peeling a potato, look at that. Look how much easier that is. You know? Like that. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So very easy, very simple, and very straightforward. Now, obviously, no one likes scales in their food. So, but the flesh, you'll notice the flesh, once I start like taking the scales off, you'll notice the flesh sort of has that, really, it's actually quite a nice look about it.
Shiny.
Yeah, it's really shiny, you know. And I don't mind if a fish that gets cooked comes out, cooked and a little bit browner, obviously because it'll brown up. I don't mind if a fish comes out looking like that, you know, with a bit of browned up, obviously, looking like that, and I'll eat it, you know. But I don't want it coming out looking like this. I want it coming out, that's the next step, obviously. So as you can see, that's nice now. So I think this might, I don't know, it might be a herring or, I've got to be careful I don't cut my fingers doing this. Probably the wrong way to do it, of course. I bet I get a lot of people, that's not how you scale them, buy a scaler or something. Yeah, I know.
And I've also been told by someone who loves fishing and stuff at my work, she said that it's easier just to fillet a fish by cutting from behind the fin and straight down the backbone, and all the guts and everything will come out all in one go, and you've got a nice clean fillet of fish.
Well,
saves you all this trouble that he's going into.
She can show me, I don't mind. But this is just one way, that obviously, it might even be the total wrong way, I don't know. See, I can still feel a bit of scale there.
So please comment comment in the comments
How
below.
Oh, see, I could have got my fingers. But this knife isn't entirely sharp, so obviously...
No, it's a special knife that if he loses it in the water, it's going to bounce back up.
It does. It's a flotation... It's because, you know, it's got the plastic here and it floats. So if ever I lose it, you know, it's all good. So there you go. That there is perfectly done to my liking. Now, you might say I take a little bit of extra time doing it, but at the end of the day...
We all know you're pedantic.
I am. Look, when it comes to food and putting things in my mouth, absolutely. There's no two ways about it. I like to make absolutely sure that whatever I'm eating...
And he loves his food, people.
I do. Like, seriously. There's times, like, I don't know what it is, but there's times when I could eat all day long. Like, that's what it is. And there's other times when I don't. But most times out of 10, I feel like I could eat all day long. But, yeah, that's cool. All right, guys.
And if you want to know what bracelet he's wearing...
Oh, yeah, that's...
He's going to get in very big trouble.
Oh, yeah. That's my Shazam... Mr. Captain Marvel bracelet, as you can see with the lightning bolt.
And
so that's
the
cool.
bracelet came from a lady named Jane Anders on Kangaroo Island. She has a Facebook page called Snapaganza.
Yeah, she does.
She has all these things called snaps, and you can
Yeah,
interchange.
I'll show you. You can take it off like that.
You can take it off and interchange.
And you can put it on top. Another one, a different one on top.
Put a different snap
But
on.
you know
she
what?
has all sorts of things. She even makes metal twisted jewelry.
She
So
does, actually.
If you want to, please message down below and we will get that link for you for the Facebook page.
Yeah. I'm prepared to do that. That's fine. I'm willing to help out all my subscribers.
And she is more than happy to do online Facebook orders.
And they're fairly cheap too, so which is good. Right?
Yeah, they're heaps cheap, but they're good. They look like expensive stuff.
Yeah, they are. They're good. They're very, very good.
Speaking of which, if you want to see some of her items...
No,
He's just
I
being
do that.
funny now. If you want to see some of her items, go to Cool Girl's page down in the favorites on this
particular channel. Yeah, I've got. If you go onto my channel there, you'll see a subscriber called Cool Girl. And if you go onto her page, subscribe to her too. She's the one actually holding the camera for me, which is very appreciated. And I'm sure she'd love to have you on her.
I will.
Look at that mosquito's trying to bite me. Look at that. Can you see it?
Upload.
I'm gonna get him. I got him.
I will
Can't use it for fish bait, unfortunately.
When he stops talking, I'm going to say that when I get a chance, I will upload some of the things that I have brought for you guys to see. And at Christmas time, I will show.
Look at all that.
Actually, before Christmas, I will show you all the Christmas presents I brought for my family.
Oh yeah, that's
from
what
her
you're gonna
snaps
do too.
as well.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
You will see all the snaps that we have so far, and you can comment on my page in regards to her.
Actually, I haven't finished yet. I've got to take all the heads off this
as well.
Yep,
so
that's cool. All right, guys, thank you for watching. And I did say whatever I catch, I will upload and show you. So there's a few extra fish, and you got to see.
Please subscribe and like this video.
Yeah, that's cool.
Please subscribe to this channel
and like
for
it.
future.
Yeah, uploads and whatever else I do.
Uploads, you need to click the notification bell so you're notified when he produces more videos, because he has a lot of things on Kangaroo Island.
Okay, guys, we've got to go. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a great
And don't forget, you're amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing. Woohoo! Okay, we're gonna go. Bye. Hey, just as we know, Christmas is approaching, so I have decided just very quickly to show you this Christmas decoration. I'll zoom in a little bit more. I'll come up. This is absolutely pretty as. So I just wanted to make it nice to finish off the actual video. So check this out. Look how pretty this is. That is so pretty. Obviously there's Santa Claus with the reindeers there. Come across here a bit more. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. Look at this. This is so pretty. Look across here very quickly. We'll go in a little bit because there's a little bit of a path. Look at this. It's got like a little thing there. Look at this. That's so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, that's cool. That's so pretty. Look at this. Oh, that's so pretty. And And we've got Big Santa right here in the middle. Look at that. That is so pretty. Anyway, there you go, people. There's a little bit of festivity for the night. I'll come back around again. That is so pretty. And of course, there it all is there. So pretty. All right, guys, have a great night. I hope that you loved what I've just shown you. And of course, this is the festivities that at the moment is on Kangaroo Island. So I won't mention exactly where this is because, you know, privacy reasons. But they may see it on YouTube. I don't know. They could be one of my subscribers. Who knows? But it's so pretty. Oh, look at that. That is so beautiful. I love it. All right, guys, have a good one. And we'll see you on the next upload. Bye. Woohoo!